You have 3 weeks to do something. You don't touch it. 2 weeks left? Still nothing. 1 week? Maybe tomorrow. 3 days? You'll start soon. The night before? Suddenly, your productivity machine, laser focused. Work that should have taken weeks gets done in hours. And weirdly, it's some of your best work. This isn't laziness. This isn't poor planning. Your brain literally will not function until the deadline feels like a threat. Today, you're learning why panic is your brain's favorite motivator. Your brain runs on chemicals. The big one? Dopamine. That's your motivation fuel. When something feels important, dopamine flows. When something feels urgent, dopamine floods. Here's the problem. Your brain doesn't care about deadlines 3 weeks away. Too abstract, too distant, no dopamine. But a deadline that's 12 hours away, that's concrete, that's real, that's terrifying. And terror? Terror gets your brain's attention. This is why you can't start the project early even when you want to. Your dopamine system won't engage. It's like running a car with no gas. You sit at your desk, you stare at the blank document, nothing happens because your brain is waiting for the fear. It's waiting for the adrenaline spike that says, if you don't do this now, you're screwed. Only then does it unlock your focus. Your brain evolved to respond to immediate threats. Lion chasing you? Maximum focus. Deadline 3 weeks away? Your brain doesn't even register it as real. It's not that you're bad at time management. It's that your threat detection system only recognizes danger when it's right in front of you. This is called temporal discounting. Your brain values now over later. A deadline tomorrow is worth 100 units of concern. A deadline next month is worth maybe 3, even though logically they're the same task with the same consequences. Your emotional brain doesn't do logic. It does proximity. The closer the threat, the more your brain cares. Everything else is basically invisible. Here's what's wild. The work you do in panic is often better than the work you do if you started early. Why? Because panic eliminates distractions. When you have 3 weeks, you can afford to overthink, rewrite everything 5 times, question every choice. But when you have 3 hours, no time for perfectionism, no time for doubt. You just execute. And execution beats planning. Drop a comment below if your best work always happens under pressure, because you're not imagining it. Studies show that moderate stress actually improves performance. It sharpens focus, speeds up decision-making, blocks out noise. You're not procrastinating because you're broken. You're procrastinating because your brain learned that panic produces results. When the deadline is far away, starting feels like torture. Why? 0 dopamine reward. Your brain runs a calculation. Effort now, reward way later. That's a terrible deal. So it says no. It redirects you to literally anything else. Scroll your phone, reorganize your desk. Suddenly, cleaning the bathroom sounds appealing. Anything that gives immediate dopamine wins. But the night before, different story. Now the reward is immediate. Finish this or fail. The dopamine isn't coming from completion anymore. It's coming from avoiding disaster. And disaster avoidance is one of the most powerful dopamine triggers your brain has. You're not motivated by success. You're motivated by not getting destroyed. Ever try to start something early and it feels wrong? Like you're forcing it? That's because you are. Your brain doesn't have the chemical cocktail it needs yet. No urgency means no adrenaline. No adrenaline means no focus. You're trying to run a system that's designed to activate under pressure without any pressure. It's like trying to use a fire extinguisher when there's no fire. This is why people who start early often produce worse work. They spread the task over 3 weeks, but without urgency, they overthink, second guess, restart multiple times. Meanwhile, the person who did it the night before? One clean execution, no time to doubt. The deadline forced clarity. Sometimes constraints are better than freedom. You know you should start early. Everyone tells you to, every productivity guru, every time management system. So when you don't, you feel guilty, lazy, irresponsible. But guilt doesn't help. It just adds another layer of stress without adding the productive kind of stress. You're anxious about not starting, which makes starting even harder. Comment if guilt about procrastinating has ever made you procrastinate more, because it's not just you. Guilt triggers avoidance. You feel bad about the task, so you avoid the task, so you feel worse, so you avoid more. It's a cycle. And the only thing that breaks it? The deadline getting close enough that fear finally overpowers guilt. Fear is more motivating than shame. There's something almost addictive about deadline panic. You feel alive, sharp, capable. Everything clicks. Time distorts. Hours feel like minutes. You're in flow state, but it's driven by terror instead of joy. And when it's over, you're exhausted, but you kind of miss it. This is why some people unconsciously engineer their own crises. They could start early, but they don't, because starting early means missing the high, the adrenaline rush, the satisfaction of pulling it off under impossible conditions. You're not lazy. You're chasing a specific neurochemical state that only exists when you're about to fail. But here's what the system costs you. Every time you rely on deadline panic, you're training your brain that panic equals productivity. You're strengthening that neural pathway. Over time, you become unable to work without pressure, can't focus unless it's urgent, can't create unless you're terrified. You've made fear your only tool. Plus, the stress compounds. You're not just stressed during the actual work, you're stressed the entire time before it. Low-level anxiety for 3 weeks, then high-intensity panic for 1 night. That's worse for your body than just steady work over time. Your cortisol levels stay elevated, your sleep suffers, your health takes hits you don't notice until later. So, can you change this? Maybe, but not by trying harder to start early. That's fighting your brain's wiring. Instead, you need to manufacture urgency artificially. Create fake deadlines that feel real. Tell someone you'll have it done by Friday when it's not due until next month. Put money on the line. Make the consequence immediate, even if the real deadline isn't. Another option? Accept it. Stop fighting your natural rhythm. If your brain only works under pressure, fine. Build your life around that. Take on shorter deadline projects. Negotiate tighter timelines. Use your panic productivity as a feature, not a bug. The goal isn't to become someone else. It's to work with the brain you have, not the brain you think you should have. Your brain only works when the deadline feels dangerous because that's how it's designed. Urgency triggers focus. Distance creates apathy. You're not broken, you're just wired to respond to immediate threats, not abstract future concerns. The question isn't how to change that, it's whether you should even try. Sometimes the best move is accepting that you do your best work under pressure and building a life that plays to that strength instead of fighting it. Subscribe if you want more psychology that explains why you are the way you are. We're not here to fix you, we're here to help you understand yourself. The Cognitive Blueprints.